Hey everybody, this is your boy John, and on today's episode of Geeks from the Multiverse, we're going to be talking about Season 3, baby, because this is the debut. We got new music, new graphics, new basically everything, the future of the podcast. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite moments, some just general ideas that we have coming up, so stay tuned.
We're geeks from the multiverse. We've come to unite all geeks. Now it's time to get geeky and dive right in, because we're geeks from the multiverse.
Well, hello everybody again, and so this is our lovely, intro music that we just, actually, let me rephrase this. Matt, came up with this cool idea, and honestly, I really thoroughly enjoy it. But anyways, with me as always is my boy, Mr. Grumpy Beard. I don't know why I just totally forgot that, but yes, Mr. Grumpy Beard, aka Matt over here.
What's up, everybody?
So yes, we got a lot to talk about, of course, but one thing real quick, because Matt should be proud of me. Okay, yes, I know what fist bump is. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it's follow, interact, subscribe, and tell your friends. Okay, so yes, Matt's proud of me. So Season 3, you heard it live with me. That yes, I know what fist bump finally is after so many times of screwing it up. So yes. All right, so we're getting there, yes, but so again, follow us on YouTube, all that fun stuff. Again, we're going to try to keep things different this year, especially with Season 3, because we've been doing this now for what, 2 years, technically?
2 years, yeah.
So it's crazy that here we are, and we never thought we were going to get past Season 1.
Hey,
this is Season 3, baby.
We were struggling at 20 episodes, and we were like, hey, we reached 20 episodes. This is awesome, and here we are. I think literally, 100 episodes?
Is it the 100th episode?
I think it's the 100th, yes.
Oof, man. And we're already on Season 3. I mean, think about it, man. I mean, the more we keep doing this, it's just going to get greater, and I'm hoping that, I know, man, I always joke. Yes, we of course want you guys to, help us out, get to that bigger reach. We know we're small, man. We're not like, PewDiePie on YouTube or like some of those famous like Twitch streamers and shit like that. I mean, again, that's why we ask you guys to help us. I mean, granted, we're two dudes on two different mics here. Like we can only do so much here, right? And so that's why we ask you guys to help us with the fist bump, skaboom, that kind of a deal. But
hey,
I'm sorry. What?
There's this weird green glowing button on the mixer. I don't know if you've seen this thing, man.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna stop you right there. Do not think that you're going to push that damn button because I'm damn well that every movie, especially like if you're the president and you think you're going to press that damn big red button.
Oh, I'm pushing it.
No, you're not. Dude, do not.
I am going to
swear to God, don't fucking push it. You're pushing my limits right now by pushing it. Don't even think about it. Do not even push that button. You don't even know what it's going to do, man. You have no idea.
I'm going to push it, bro.
Why are you going to push it?
Because I want
What's the reason?
There is no reason.
You just want to push it. So you're going to be that guy.
I just want to see
you're going to be that guy. You're really going to be that guy.
I do want to be that guy.
Why? Why do you like pissing me off, man? Why? What is your? Why do you like?
It's just there. I can't help it. It's glowing. I can't.
Well, then why? Why do you have to do?
Why
this?
not? All right. You know what? All right. Let's. What? We do have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do have a lot to talk about. But
I wish this mixer wasn't right next to me.
I wish it wasn't either, because then I would make sure that you wouldn't be pushing buttons that you shouldn't be pushing there, buddy. But no, so, we're going to talk about some stats, because I'm telling you this, man, like there's just so much going on here, right? Because we've been, doing this, like we've already said, for so long. We've talked about 70 different topics, 36 in the first year, 35 in year 2. I mean, personally, that's, again, it's crazy to me that we've literally gone so far, and we've only been doing this for so long. You know what I mean? And when
those are different topics, not like we've covered 70 plus topics, but like it's like 70, but we've covered like they've been doubled up, or we've talked about turtles twice, or we've talked about topics. No, those are 70 individual topics that we've covered. Yeah. And I think it's, you can be like, oh, well, that's way too much. Is it though? Like,
we're not even, buddy, how many, we've even talked about this. There's so many topics that we haven't even covered yet that we're still talking about. Granted, there's some ideas that Matt has also agreed not to do, even though I kept telling him, like, you're just going to have to suck it up, just like I've had to suck it up about a couple of them.
Eventually.
Just do it. I'm just saying, we're going to have to do it.
But I think having that, variety of topics gives people something that they can grasp onto and listen to, even if they don't like everything that we're doing. Well, you'd be like, oh, you guys talked about that? That's cool.
Well, think about it like this, man. And remember in the first, literally the first episode when we were talking about geeks and we're talking about the multiverse and the different, Mandela effect and whatnot, when we talked about the whole geeks thing, I mean, yes, I know we've been talking about, a lot about geek culture and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that, maybe down the road that we couldn't do other ideas that what may not be, let's say, geek culture related, we can talk about different ideas because, somebody out there is a geek for that,
Right.
If it was literally about shooting or shooting rifles, shooting, pistols, shooting whatever, right? What we can bring them on, be like, hey man, let's talk about, some of this stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't know how to do some of those things, but maybe there's somebody else.
Yeah.
We can bring in or whatever. That was just an idea, but there's so many things that out there that I just feel like people have always, again, they stereotyped, as we've talked about before, where they only think geeks are just that. We can only talk about these
geeks
things.
are, video games, comic books.
I mean, do we do that? Absolutely. But that's not just
Yeah, but not everybody. I mean, you look at people who crochet.
I mean, I guess you're a geek for that if you want to do it.
There are people that go hard with crochet. I mean,
I'm not saying there's not.
They're making stuff. I mean, I was watching YouTube. I was watching YouTube and TikTok videos the other day.
Oh, of course.
I mean, people were making this one person literally was making a C-3PO full size.
Oh my God.
A crocheted C-3PO full size.
That's insane.
You're telling me that somebody who crochets could not be a geek when you're making a full size? And
that's going to take a long time.
Right. And they showed the finished product, and right next to the C-3PO was an R2-D2.
Oh my God. I mean, I
fully
first of all,
crocheted.
I would love to meet this person. I would love to meet who did this, and I would love to bring him on the show and be like, can you explain your process? Because I don't know, and I would never be able to do that, but please.
It's amazing to me, you could even make something, and it's standing up, bro.
I mean,
it's not
crazy.
it's not like
it's solid.
It's just floppy and like a weird.
It's literally like a solid thing.
Yeah, they're standing up, and the R2-D2 is it's standing up. It looks like. I mean, obviously it's crocheted.
I get that, but
yarn. It looks like yarn, but
that's crazy. And yarn
is so crazy, and they're geeks.
Well, and yarn in general is not it's not a strong material, so it can be floppy. So, I mean, the fact that they're finding ways to do all this, I'm like, that's ingenious in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then not only that, I mean, we've been talking so much about, so I know we've kind of covered this a little bit, but Matt and I, we're always saying that we wanted to give back to the community, right? So when we were talking about our Evolved episodes, we're trying to give you guys different perspectives. I mean, both of us, yes, he's been in it longer. I'm trying to get still my feet into it. It's just taking a little longer than I'd like to. But, with mental health and addiction and things like that, things that are real, right? We've been talking about it for so long that, we're passionate about it because, we're realizing that people don't want to talk about it. It's like you hear it, but you don't want to see it or feel it or really just listen to it, because that's the problem is as humans we just let somebody else deal with that shit. We don't actually talk about the real problems. We don't talk about the real shit that goes on because we're afraid or we don't know how to work it or whatever. But we're just saying, hey, you know what, we're doing it because we want you guys to be like, hey, if maybe there's somebody out there that you can share this out to, maybe they can find some actual helpfulness or the usefulness, there we go, of what we've been talking about, or find the different resources.
And I think the second year we did a lot less of the Evolve episodes, which I would like to increase. We did 4 of them, which we did male loneliness, men's mental health. We did one on crisis mode.
Well, we if you think about it, we also talked about certain topics that were specific for males, which I'm not saying we're discarding female issues and anything like that. We're just saying that, unfortunately, there's also a lot of male issues that do not get brought up at all.
Well, it's helpful too that 85 to 90% of our listeners are male.
Yes, but I'm just saying we're not disregarding female issues or anything that we're saying. We are saying that yes, males need to understand that you have issues too. There's problems in the world.
Right.
You just need to get involved, and you need to understand that real shit's going to happen, and you need to get on board with this. And it's not. I think
being males, we are uniquely equipped to talk about male problems.
Well, yes,
I think we would have to have somebody female to kind of talk about that. But
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think the Evolve episodes are really special, and we have one coming up next week.
Yes, we're revisiting bullying, which I know Matt and I have been, in the very first, year we were doing it, we were very passionate about it. We were, because unfortunately it's still a real thing and it's never going away.
And, we were kind of talking about doing it as kind of a short, kind of
PSA.
Like a PSA episode. It wouldn't be quite an hour. We were thinking like maybe 15, 20 minutes, half hour at the most.
And we made a whole episode out of it.
And then it ended up being a whole episode. And then, we kind of did like another one on addiction. And then as we kind of did more of these episodes, I kind of had this idea for the Evolve, just overall episodes to kind of have that direction and mission for them. And now, now we have a whole intro music and, I would like to evolve into something more eventually down the road, but, I really do love the Evolve episodes, and I love how, what we're doing is not just, it's not just surface level geek culture. Like we're doing something meaningful on top of, providing entertainment.
Well, of course. I know a lot of people I know in the past have always like, man, we love when you two debate and like discuss and argue with each other. And don't get me wrong. I do like doing that, even though I know earlier, like you and that damn button, trying to push that.
Hey, that button, I think that button's almost blinding to me, man.
Look, it's I understand.
It's calling to me,
I know
John.
it's calling to you. I know,
John.
buddy. It's not like you're you know what you are? You're like a damn fly or like what are those? Like fireflies or whatever, or not mosquitoes, sorry. I don't know why I'm thinking of different things. You're like a damn mosquito in those like little fly traps or like the fly.
You know what I am right now, John? I'm like a 7-year-old kid walking through the toy store and that one toy makes a noise and I go, oh, I want that one.
Ooh, piece of candy.
But I see this button and I just like,
I know. I know you're right there, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, I just want to.
I know you want to. I don't think it's a good idea, bud. That's not a good idea right now. Don't get me started on that one. No, but the last thing, real quick, is like with these kind of like these. I know we talked about it a little bit, but like the different long series that we've had,
which was different from our first year because the first year we were
just basically doing a lot of random like topics all at different times. But the reason why I didn't mind this too was, it was nice so that way, people kind of at least knew like, hey, this is what we're going to be talking about for a month or, doing different things. But like the things about this though, is that, I guess it just made us, well, of course it made us more organized, because we knew what to talk about like we were doing each time. But, it was also just kind of, again, there's certain topics you can, kind of stretch out. Certain topics, unfortunately, you can do like an episode or two and just, be done, kind of a deal. But like, for us in the beginning, we had no idea. We just kind of were going with the flow. We were just like,
no, and some obviously, franchises and some topics were, it was much easier to have those series. But yeah, the first year it was just kind of like, hey, let's try a series on this. Let's do a series on this. And it was just, it was basically just scheduling them in and putting them in. But for the second year, it was like, okay, well, let's try to
be more organized.
Well, yeah,
that's basically what it was.
It was being more organized, but it was really like, okay, well, let's try doing a month-long series, but like, let's alternate the months. So we'll do a month-long series. And then the next month we'll keep it an open series so that we'll have like those random, those random topics.
Or we could do Evolve or, whatever.
Yeah, we'll do an Evolve topic or we'll do something like, Ninja Turtles or, we did, I think, 2 episodes on Jurassic Park. Yeah. But we'll keep those open. And then the next month we'll plan another, series. And But we had 5 different, month-long series, which was, we did Star Wars, which was, we had that debate with your brother and your dad.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But we did G.I. Joe and Transformers. We did Marvel. We just finished The Walking Dead.
Sure did.
And then I do call the October one a series because it was technically a month long.
Yeah, I mean,
they were different topics technically, but we did more of that spooky series during October, which was like vampires and
the different characters of like the Halloween wise. Yeah, no, I mean,
like horror movies and
I mean, and like I said, I'm hoping that moving forward, we can, start talking, like, because I think one of our ideas, coming up at some point is like Star Trek. And we've talked about it for a long time now, but we haven't really, wanted to do it in a while. So
it's coming up.
Yeah, I figured it's coming up, but I know like that one would be like, that could be a month. That could be kind of a longer series because there's a lot to talk about, especially with the older and new things like that. But, that's why we're saying like, we're trying to kind of do a little bit of both, like having the series, having that, but kind of making it, more open as well. So it doesn't matter which way you look at it, right? We're just trying different ideas, trying different things because, each year we gotta keep growing, man. That's just the way of the world,
Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. I can't.
Buddy, don't do it, no!
Now is Love You All Night Long by the Boys. Here at WGFTM, The Geek. I'm the Axeman, playing some tunes. We got another debut song from the boys over at Geeks From The Multiverse podcast. I haven't heard of these guys, but they have a really hot song right now hitting the charts. But right now, we got to get a traffic update from Bob. Hey, Bob, are you there?
Hey, man, I know. It's really loud out here, man. It's what? God damn it!
Whoa.
Jesus, man, you almost killed me. It's like Mad Max.
Whoa, hey.
God damn it.
Are you all right there, Bob?
I'm trying, man. It's so loud out here, and I can't see it. My God, these guys are assholes, man.
Hey, Bob. Well, I think we lost Bob, but we're going to go right into this song. Enjoy.
Years ago, we had a thought, a podcast idea that started as a joke. We should do a podcast, I said with a grin. Years later, here we are, the show begins. Talking Star Wars, dinos, and comic book lore. Once just a dream, now it's so much more. We're geeks on a mission, bringing the fun from the multiverse where it's all begun. Laughs, insights, and nerdy debates. Join us on the journey, don't hesitate. With a mic on stands and a living room vibe, we pressed record, took the geeky dive. From ridiculous songs to geeky fights, super fight battles and long nerdy nights. Over 40 topics and we're still on a roll. Every Monday, geek takes are the goal. We're geeks on a mission, bringing the fun from the multiverse where it's all begun. Laughs, insights, and nerdy debates. Join us on the journey, don't hesitate. With the mic on stands and a living room vibe, we pressed record, took the geeky dive. From ridiculous songs to geeky fights, super fight battles and long nerdy nights. Over 40 topics and we're still on a roll. Every Monday, geek takes are the goal. We're geeks on a mission, bringing the fun from the multiverse where it's all begun. Laughs, insights, and nerdy debates. Join us on the journey, don't hesitate. Vampires, robots, turtles galore, Jurassic Park dinos, and so much more. From paranormal frights to Wolverine's claws, we bring the multiverse into the light. If it's out there in geeky lore, we're diving in and giving you more. It's more than a pod, it's a celebration, a space for geeks and imagination. Our mission is to unite all geeks, so grab your headphones and tune in each week with Matt and John. The fun's just begun, the multiverse is for everyone. We're geeks on a mission, bringing the fun from the multiverse where it's all begun. Laughs, insights, and nerdy debates. Join us on the journey, don't hesitate. So tune in now, don't miss the ride. With Matt and John, we're your geeky guys. Straight from a different universe, we're the geeks from the multiverse.
God damn it, man. I told you not to press that fucking button.
I don't know what the hell just happened there, but...
Dude,
Jesus.
You don't remember?
No.
You don't have any idea? Am I seriously the only one that remembers this?
I don't remember anything.
You must have amnesia, man. Dude, you were some kind of radio host or something. I don't know what the hell you... Yeah, man. It was weird. I mean, you were the Axe Man or something. I don't know. It was something weird, man.
What?
I don't know, man. It was weird as shit. I almost got hit by a damn car over here. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know what you're smoking, bro. But
apparently, my name was Bob, and I was doing the traffic. Man, I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't know what the hell you're smoking.
Don't you dare press that button again, because I swear, if I'm the weatherman or the
traffic, it ain't glowing anymore. So whatever happened,
shit, man,
it ain't glowing no more.
It's fucking annoying, is what that is. Anyways,
I don't know what happened.
Neither do I, besides that one moment. But anyways, I know we've been... See, this is what happens, man. You got lost my train of thought here, you know? All right, so I guess if we're going to pick it back up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I talk about best moments from last year. I mean, we had some pretty interesting episodes.
I mean, you know, I must say this, man. I mean, we've had some good times, I feel like. I mean, it's crazy that, you know, when you start to look at, you know, from last year and even our first year, you know I mentioned the first year before and I did all that, but like, it's still crazy to me that our number one episode till this date, I know from Spotify, is still our first episode. The literal episode that Matt and I debuted is technically right now on, at least on Spotify, is the number one most played episode, which I can understand because that's what you'd want to hear. But it's crazy because that was like the roughest for us because we were just starting. Like we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, we were literally just starting out. It was the first thing. I mean, not the first thing we ever recorded, but
no, the first thing we ever recorded was actually, which we'll get into this in a minute, but like, you know, the first thing we recorded was our trailer. So the trailer, it is on there, and it actually is I think it's like top 3 or 5, like in like the best, you know, most rated, you know, plays wise.
Yeah, it is up there.
But like, it was crazy because even the trailer. Okay, just so you're clear, the first thing we recorded was the trailer. So it took us. I know we've talked about this last time, but it took us 4 hours to record a minute and a half, I think, or minute and 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus, I pray to God this is.
Well, I think we had technical issues before we started.
We were trying to figure out like what was the best sounds. Like, you know, we were coming up with all different. I mean, and granted, yes, it sounds scripted because it was hard, you know, because we were doing.
I mean, literally, it was the first time we've ever recorded anything. So yeah,
it was hard for us. So, you know, now that we've been doing it for so long, it just kind of comes natural. But, you know, so one of the things I was going to mention besides that trailer is yes. So we've mentioned this before a little bit before we go into like favorite moments and stuff too, because we'll definitely be talking about it. You know, so we did mention that, you know, we definitely got a cool new logo that's coming out. You'll be seeing it, of course, when this episode happens, but like, you know, got the logo, of course, the music now, you know, we even have a cool little outro. You'll get to hear that at the very end, of course, but like, you know, there's just so many things that, you know, we're trying to do and you know, kind of develop a little bit because, you know, we're not just trying to be, you know, what we've been doing. You know, that's the whole point. Even with Evolve, right? I mean, we're trying to evolve our podcast. You know, we're trying to, you know, get more people's attention.
Yeah, and now Evolve even will have its own intro music. I don't have outro music for that one yet.
Well, now I'll have to figure that out. But yeah,
I mean, that will have its own, you know, intro music, and it'll sound different, you know, going into it. And
yeah, I mean, and I know, you know, we haven't even talked about merch in a while, but like, you know, I already know that hopefully the goal is like, especially like, you know, during, you know, it could be Halloween, it could be the Christmas thing again, you know, it could be the different things. Like, hopefully the goal is that, you know, during the certain, like even 4th of July, which is still a little ways out, but like, you know, different time frames, I think we can try to get back into like doing the different little themes, you know, like having, you know, like 4th of July shit, you know, be like, hey, red, white, and blue, you know, here you go, you know, whatever, right? I'm just throwing ideas out. I know Matt's like, don't fucking say anything. I'll just come up with the damn idea myself. No, I just, you know, we'll just, again, we just got different things going on. We're just trying to, you know, explore different options. And, you know, when it comes down to it, I mean, you know, Matt really did an amazing job with the logo because, you know, when you see it, because it was a lot of different ideas and, you know, I gave him some input, you know, we did all that. But then, you know, once we like looked at it together and I was like, this is it, man. I was like, this is the logo. And then even the music, man. I mean, he came up with it and I was like, shit. I'm like, this is wild, you know? Now, mind you, I'm going to say it. I mean, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say a secret. Spoiler alert. There you go. All AI generated. That's not clearly we're not rapping. We're definitely not singing, you know, but it's crazy that is the future of right now. AI, literally everything. A lot of certain things, even that photo, the logo technically
The background,
semi AI.
The background is, but the actual text fonts are not. That was photoshopped.
Oh, I thought that was AI too.
No, the actual text, like Geeks from the Multiverse podcast,
that
is
one.
actual photoshopped.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, of course we use Photoshop. That's just kind of the way it is. But anyways, I'm just saying that there's just so much that we want to do, and there's so much that we're trying to do. But anyways, so back to the favorite moments, because I know there's so many. But I know Matt's got his favorites. I got mine. But I will say this year. Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I will say that yes. Of course, having our guests, I love having, guests on, I know, Scott, your son-in-law, he came on. I know, it wasn't technically last year. It was, or was it last year? No, that didn't seem right. When did Jordan and them come on? Was it last year or the year before?
That was the year before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it the first year that we did it?
Yep.
Okay. That's probably sounds right. Now, I was kind of hoping we could do a repeat of that too, but no, I just, I will say that, yes, I know that we just talked about it a little bit ago, but like my brother and my dad, coming on, reason why I know I enjoyed it was because now you got to see, I know Matt's seen it already on the outside, but like, my family is just, especially those two knuckleheads, they like to fight over the dumb shit. And then I know Matt, he was talking and he was trying to say some stuff, and like he was agreeing with my dad sometimes, and he would agree with him, and he's like, "Hey, whose side are you on?" And you're battling over this, and I'm just sitting here laughing because I'm just like, "All right, let's see how these two, want to compete." Because basically that episode was like talking about how, the differences between, Lucas's, books that he was, using versus the non-canon, or the canon, like what is now canon through these, the Star Wars universe, through, Disney and whatnot. So these two are fighting because, my dad's old school. He's saying that, that technically the books are what is canon, but then of course Disney's like, no, it's not canon anymore. And, there was that whole battle between them two. And it was just, again, listen to it. I'm telling you, it was good. It was a good moment. But go ahead. What's one of your favorite moments there, Matt?
Well, I have a bunch. Some of my favorite episodes are, obviously like the parody, best and worst parody movies like that. Yeah. That was one of my favorites. I love like the parody satire movies anyways, but that was one of my favorites. The Rick and Morty episode was one of my favorites. That was,
well, I will. So I know we didn't really go into it, but like, yeah, let's just say Matt and I looked up the original, idea
of what it's bad
of idea with Rick and Morty, and we were laughing so hard.
It's bad.
It was so funny that I'm not going to repeat it because it's not gonna be like that.
No.
It was so bad that Matt and I actually started doing the voices of Rick and Morty. It was more Rick that we were doing, but Morty occasionally. But it was. I can't even look. All I got to say is you can look it up if you want to, or not suggesting you to, but
probably not. But
probably not. But no, even I'm trying to remember all the damn topics. I think some of my other favorites were like, talking about like I guess really the differences between, the Marvel and DC and stuff. And, and the reason why I like talking about it is because I know you and I, even recently, because I know we talked about it a little bit ago, but like, every time we talk about the superhero stuff, it's just like, we both agree that, it's just, if we started this podcast when the hype of like the Avengers and stuff, oh my God, it would have been a different story, and then like talking about now of like what it is now with DC and Marvel. It's just, it's hard for me to talk about sometimes, but it's the reason why it's one of my favorites is because, I hate saying it, but it's just, and now I think we're both agreeing that it's just, we're shitting on it because, we're loving it so much. And then all of a sudden now we're shitting on the fact that both of the studios are they're just not doing what they were supposed to be doing from the beginning.
Yeah. I do love like the horror movies, and I love, when we talked about Godzilla, but I do, some of the topics, like I just, we got to talk about He-Man, which was just ridiculous. Like some of the names,
all those. Oh yeah.
I I love talking about Spawn. You know, when we did Tom Clancy.
See, and I like that. I do like the Tom Clancy stuff that we were talking about. Because,
and we did that whole episode on how offensive Hollywood was.
See, honestly, I think, you know what? I think that was one of my other favorites because I think we finally said, you know what? We're gonna stick it right to them, and we're gonna tell you like you're fucking up, and this is how and why you're doing it.
You know, we did our robots and our great turkey debate around Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, remember that one? Yeah.
No, did we? Oh yeah, the different birds and
the different birds.
Which one we thought would be the best and which one was the worst and things like that. I mean, I want to say one of my other favorites, and this is more of like kind of all time, is the B-rated movies. You know, like how we were some of the names and the stupid ass like plots and shit like that. That was just
I think that was season 1 though.
I know, but you gotta. I'm looking as an overall view here.
Like, I get it.
I know one of your favorites still is probably the Terminator fucking rabbit hole one.
Beyond the trailer being up in the top 3, if you took the trailer out as not being a full episode, the Terminator Matrix fan theory episode is top 3 as a full episode. So it's still up there.
No, I mean, I know it is. It's just,
but I do like, you know, when we did our Christmas team and our ultimate New Year's bash, like I liked those episodes because I think we tried to do something different with those. You know, we tried to kind of establish like who we would pick for a team if we were going to build a team of like, you know, who was going to save, you know, Santa Claus when he was kidnapped, or, you know, who we would pick to, you know, not just host a party, but be like the bartender and to throw that New Year's bash. Like,
I agree. I think that was a fun one. I mean, actually, because I couldn't remember all of the damn episodes. I mean, there's so many that we've been talking about, but like, I actually just was looking back at even one of our first episodes that we had after it was really the season 2 start was geek profiling. Like we kind of went back to the roots of, you know, what we were originally doing in the very first episode ever. You know, kind of like in that sense where, you know, like what is a geek? You know, what, you know, kind of like going a little further into that, you know.
That was our very first season too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like I forgot that we did, you know, kind of like follow up on the very first episode with this, you know, kind of like a continuation, but like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you know, some of the even Laval episodes that we were doing, you know, like the loneliness, especially with the men and dads, like that one, I think it just kind of hit home for me a little bit because that was.
I mean, there was a whole purpose of why we did the men's.
No, of course,
the men's mental health, and that was because they, you know, a lot of it was because they were trying to call that month like a different month. You know, it was supposed to be Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but they you know, federally or whatever, people calling it something else completely.
Well, yeah.
So we wanted to do that episode being like, no. Men's mental health is still something people should be aware of. You know, It should still be something that's important. You know, just because men have, you know, you want men to still portray this image of strength and, you know, whatever, does not mean that they, you know, carry something that makes them a little, you know, that makes them weaker.
Right.
They need help with.
No, and that's where, you know, like I was saying earlier about the whole, you know, men's issues versus women's issues. And I'm like, and I've never said that, you know, we never would talk about those things. It's just, you know, as men, right? You know, we have those keen insights because we deal with it all the time. But I mean, again, if our wives were on, right? And like, just like we did the V-Day episode, now part 2, basically of the same thing, different with, you know, differences. But, you know, like if we needed to talk about certain things, then yeah, we come on the show, ladies, they don't have some female perspective, you know? And, you know, for us, it was like, you know, we wanted to, you know, talk about these things because again, like we've said before, like there's not enough of it nowadays. There's not really talking about certain things. And it's just sad. You know, the fact that we had to learn that the whole Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, right, was the same month as, what was it? I'm pretty sure it was November, right?
I believe so.
Right. So like with the no shave or, mo shave, whatever you want to call it, like nobody knew that. Like I had no idea that it was supposed to be the same month as that. It was like no shave November, yada, yada. Like, we had no idea. Like this was just stuff that, we're learning as we're doing it. But I'm like, this is ridiculous.
No, it was June.
It was June. That's right. No, you're right. Because Father's Day, right. It was the same month as, okay.
So it was, they made it Pride Month. And it was designated in October as LGBTQ History Month.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Because that's why we were getting upset.
June 2021, Joe Biden declared it as LGBTQ Pride Month.
Yeah, which then we were like, okay, what about?
Yeah, and we said it was, they also said it was National Candy Month, National Selfie Month, right. National Hydration Month. That's right. National Safety Month, Effective Communication Month, and
we're doing a great job of Effective Communication Month. Yeah, that's a good one, especially on that. But anyways, I do remember that now because I had to think about that. But no, you're right. I mean, because that was the kind of stuff that we're just sitting here like, why are we doing this, America? Why is this more important than certain things that are going on? That doesn't make any sense to me. But
then like we have everybody sits there and talks about like, oh well, we have a mental health crisis in America right now. Oh,
really?
Oh, really? But yet we can't have a month focusing on awareness for mental health. But we can have pride for every, race, creed, everything else, but we can't have a focus on mental health. And I get it, like give pride where it's due, whatever. I don't care. I could care less. You can have National Dog Pride Month. I don't really care.
Hold on.
I really don't.
So this also kind of, what I was about to say, this kind of introduces the other idea that I know you and I definitely had this one was a rough one to talk about, but it was the DEI, episode, the We Got Concerns, thing that we mentioned before. That's kind of where you're kind of leading into
and
this.
we did that episode where, we were saying that we have concerns. And I think when you look back at that episode and you see where we're at now,
has it changed? No, but
no, and I think has it gotten worse? In some regards, yes. Some regards, maybe no. I don't. I don't know. I mean,
it's just look. It's tough either way because at the end of the day, it's like we're not saying that you don't need to do certain things. What we are saying is that I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to say it. This is literally, you can look this up. Morgan Freeman said it really well, and I remember the interview to a point. I'm not going to say like in detail of what it was because I can't remember all of it, but like he was basically just saying that it was something to do with Black History Month, and he was literally.
Are you going to say it like Morgan Freeman?
No, I'm not. I can't. No, I can't even. I'm not even going to try that. That's probably the worst idea for me to do. No, what I'm going to say is like he literally said, because somebody was like, well, I think it was something along the lines of like, do you agree that, there's a Black History Month? And so he was like, well, is there an Asian American, History Month? Or like, it's like a, Hispanic, History Month? It like kind of goes through all the races. And he's like, oh, no, I don't, we don't really have one for them. And he's like, oh, okay. So then why do I need one? So why do I need to celebrate this when, we have all these others that, we don't need to express all that.
Right.
And so I'm sitting there like, he's got a point. I mean, this isn't racism. This isn't nothing. He's saying that, listen, we don't need to have a month to describe our history. Because and I'm like, you're right. And I mean, and I'll say it. There were some, when it comes to, African Americans, whatever, there's a lot of inventors, creators, artists, music. I mean, hell, there's even music, for God's sake. There's a lot of black artists that created a lot of great music that created a lot of what music is today.
Yeah.
And like when you look at inventions in general, no, not all white people were inventing shit. Clearly there was other races that were inventing different ideas and new things and all this other crap. My point is, it doesn't matter about that piece. The whole point of that whole discussion was we should be celebrating as a whole, the history of Literally, the people, like whether you look at the United States, whether you look at the world, whatever, right? It's not about what we look like as skin. Because at the end of the day, we are human. We are literally people. And we just have ideas, whether you're black, white, freaking rainbow, or the glowing green that Matt saw earlier, you know? Like, it don't matter. Like, it's what it is.
So, yeah, I'm going to break that up into saying some funny moments from 2024.
I know, sorry. I know I went on a there.
That was me having to make a rule, which I never thought I would have to make a rule.
Okay. All right. You know what?
Not having to drink hard alcohol before recording.
Okay, all right.
Podcast.
Look. Okay, so yes, I'll tell it really quick. So yes, there was one night. I don't remember what episode it was. I really don't. I can't remember the episode.
Well, it was unusable, so we didn't put it in there.
No, you're right, because we had to record it later. But that is right. Did you ever get rid of that recording?
Probably. Yeah,
you probably did. Okay, but anyways, no. So it was one night. I just remember I think it was just a rough week. I don't know what was going on. I just had a rough week, and I said, "Hey, I'm just going to grab some liquor or whatever." So I was just like, "Oh, I was going to grab some whiskey." I think it was, and I probably had whiskey gingers or just something, whatever. And I kept drinking, and Matt was like, "Oh boy, this is bad." And so all of a sudden, it just got to the point where it was so bad that it was just rambling. And he said, "You realize you said the same thing 3 times in a row."
Yeah, it was.
It was just.
He rambled on, and like, you know, we were talking. I don't know the topic for the episode one bit, but like.
Not that
we would be talking, and then like he would change topics, like
it was like squirrel moment basically.
And then he would just go off, and I'm sitting here going, "What the hell is he talking about?" So, and then like I'm trying to steer the ship, and like we're heading towards the iceberg, and I'm like, "We're gonna crash." Well, we're gonna crash, and then I'm steering the iceberg. You know, I'm not the iceberg. I'm steering the ship away from
the iceberg away from the ship. Yes.
You know, I'm trying not to crash, and it's just like I'm thinking in my head like, there's no way that this freaking audio is. So, but we got through the whole recording, and like I'm like whatever. Like I'll go through it and see if, and I go through the whole audio, and I'm like. There's no fucking way this audio is like the rambling and like it just nothing was like on topic whatsoever.
I'll say this. Okay, so yes, I again still can't remember what the episode was or really what we were trying to explain in there, but it was from what I do remember is that yes, I'm pretty sure it was like an hour and a half. Long or a little less than that, and I'm pretty sure Matt was pissed, and he looked at me. He's like, "I can't use any of this shit." Like, you know, he was just like, "This is bullshit." So, and I'm like, "Okay, you caught me." I'm like, "You're right. I'm sorry." And so, like, I think it was right after that we we're like, "Okay, now we got to do like 2 episodes every week, just kind of like get back into the flow of things and have like stuff in the bank and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, fine." And then he's like, "Listen, you're not drinking alcohol besides beer or anything like that. You got me?" And I said, "Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I will only drink beer or have a soda or whatever." I said, I promise you I won't do that ever again. And guess what? I never did it again, Matt. So here we are doing it.
No, I will drink like, you know, a beer or 2 or whatever, like, you know, maybe, you know, when we're recording, but yeah, not hard alcohol like
no,
whiskey
I know.
If we do like whiskey, like it'll be maybe like a small.
Yeah, it would be very small
amount in the glass or something. But yeah, not like.
Nothing like I was doing, basically. I took a little too far that time.
Obviously, you know, we did mention it, but your dad and your brother arguing about and debating about Star Wars was entertaining.
Oh, it was. I think both of us were just sitting there laughing, and I think at one point we were just letting them kind of duke it out, and then we would kind of interject.
I mean, I think my initial expectations of
you went a little overboard. A little bit, just a little bit. I think your expectations were just a little bit overboard, but
because they were more, they were a lot more subdued when they came onto the episode, which I was not expecting because the both of them
outside of this
are very loud, boisterous, and they swear a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was expecting for them coming in here. And I was telling John, like when we were planning this, I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, I know, like, we swear every once in a while, but, like, I don't want this to be, like, fucking. You know, like, I don't want it to go back and forth where it's, like, so I'm like, if they come on, like it has to be.
It's got to be presentable. I know it's got to
like presentable, and that it was like, they come on here and like they're barely swearing at all, and I was like,
you're like, wait, what? You switched your gears all of a sudden? You're like, what's going on here?
Okay, I'm like, okay, and but yeah, I mean, it was entertaining, Oh
no, it was like I said. I mean, when we had certain people on, and I know moving forward, I mean, I'd like to have some more people on. I actually did promise somebody, which I've told you before, that yes, we're going to have them on, but. Like I said, I like having the differences in the different people on, and that's the thing, guys. Like that's why we've been also saying too, like if there's other ideas and maybe there's stuff that maybe we were like, hey, we didn't think about it, and you were like, hey, I'd like to come on and do it. We'll figure it out. Now, granted, I'll tell you right now, New England in weather, it's not always the greatest because Matt and I always have to fight about, planning and trying to figure out good days. But the what we can try to do, especially in spring and summertime, like in fall, like. We can try to at least be like, hey, if we want us to meet you somewhere or do something, we'll have, as long as we have a power source, we can pretty much go anywhere. As long as we have somewhere we can plug stuff in.
But I think the last one, I mean, the Valentine's Day episodes, I think are always they're always really entertaining. They're always funny.
I will say that, when we first brought on Danielle and Matt, Danielle and Matt.
I'm always here.
Hold on. So when we brought on Danielle and Allie, sorry, my bad. We were both sitting there and like, I don't know how we're like, do we really want to have our wives on all the time? And, is this going to be a real thing? And so when we had it on the first time, they were kind of surprised too, because they were like, oh, this is what you guys do all the time. And we're like, yeah. We literally do this all the time. Every time that you're like, well, can you hurry up? Can you, do your thing? And I'm like, yeah, well, we're trying to record. It takes a lot. There's a lot to it. It's not just like okay, let's just go in, call it a day. No, like they realized that real quick, but like they had a good time doing it. And I think especially this last one, we were cracking up.
It was a lot of fun. Like the pickup lines and
don't even get me started on that one, but especially me. Look, I am terrible. Just if you want to listen to it, go for it. I'm gonna tell you. Don't ask me to give you a pickup line. Don't even bother. It's not even my forte. I will do everything else, but do not tell me to get a pickup line.
But yeah, I think those ones were those were kind of the funny moments, and I think the last thing I think for me as far as being 2024 was self-publishing my book. That was kind of one of the highlights for me, and I know for a lot of people it's not like a big deal, but for me.
Well, that is a big deal,
right? Writing that book, and I do owe it a lot to the podcast because I without the podcast, I don't think I would have come up with the idea. Like,
it's a lot to do, man. I mean, you decided to come up with it. You did it all by your own. You mean, hell, you got the logo going. You got all the different things. Hell, you came up with. Granted, I know some of it was AI generated, but like. Even like the characters, like what they look like. And I mean, granted, I know you didn't like show people that, but like, yes, he does have like photos of what they would kind of look like if you were to see them.
Yeah. And that's on the website.
Oh, is it? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it is on the website. And I do, I think right after the Evolve episode, I have scheduled in there a kind of a deep dive conversation episode that I wanted to do on the book.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just to kind of talk about like the characters and the story and,
So then I clearly have to read the book is what you're saying, right? Or get like hold on. Do I got to get Spark Notes? do I gotta like do
I don't think there is a Spark Notes.
Well, it sounds like you need to get on Spark Notes and ready that up.
I mean, the thing's about 250 pages, so I mean,
maybe I'll have Allie read it to me. She can read that pretty quick. No,
and right now, like with the book, I do have, well, let me preface this by saying, like, I did have a book 2 and a book 3, but now I'm putting book 2 and book 3 together.
Oh, are you?
So now book 2 is going to have part 1 and part 2 together in one book. So Power of the Gods, and then book 2 will have, both of those books together. So now it'll just be, that book 1 and book 2,
really?
Which is almost done its first draft.
Wow, look at you. See, and this is the other thing, right? Like,
So, yeah.
you just published a book, and now you're already getting to the second book. And that's crazy to me. I mean, that's like I said, that's amazing. It's
So yeah, like I'm almost done writing like the story of it. So now I'll basically, once I finish, I'll just have to go through each of the chapters and kind of review and add to and make edits and make sure like everything is good and do my grammar stuff and make sure it's good. And then once the book is complete, then I can look at publishing that one. And then I was even trying to maybe go one step further. And if I can get this one done by, I would say, summer. Like I can't promise that, but like,
hold on a second. Is this a children's book thing that you were
if I can get this one published by summer, I was thinking by the end of the year, doing a complete version by probably like December-ish, and putting like both books together into one volume.
Oh, look at you.
So.
Okay.
It would be like part 1, part 2, and part 3 all in one book.
I mean, shit, that's going to be a kind of a maybe bigger book in a sense, right? Depending on.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be more than 1,000. It'd probably be less than like.
So like 800 maybe?
Probably less than 700.
Well, I mean, look, the fact that you're even talking about it, right? I mean, that's still an accomplishment in itself, right? I mean, because like you said, you never would have thought to, do this on your own and be able to come up with an idea like that. I mean, look,
I know right now, like I'm actually glad because Amazon actually did fix the links.
Oh, it did.
So they actually did fix like their listing of it. So, Amazon actually has it correct now.
Oh, that's good.
Which kind of hurt me in the beginning because the listing wasn't right for like the first 3 months.
Oh, geez,
it was on sale.
So, I don't know how many people have gotten the book, I guess, now, but I mean, do you know?
I think right now I've sold maybe 12 copies, which is, I mean, for self-publishing and doing like my own marketing and
still, I mean,
like I don't have
not a lot, but I mean,
like, I don't have an agent. I don't have like a marketing person. Like I don't have a big, publishing company doing anything for me.
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's basically me just trying to promote it and get the word out, and it's on the website, and I have it. No,
I mean, like I said, man, that's I've told you already. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing and doing that sense. I mean, I can tell you the opposite of me, unfortunately. It's just, I will admit, I mean, it's kind of unrelated to the podcast. It's just, for me, it's been a little tough. I mean, I'm not saying that being a stay-at-home dad is terrible. It's just, it's tough. I know people say, oh, we have a lot of free time. I'm like, yeah, to a degree, depending on the day and so forth. But like, it's tough because like, recently I had to go, work with my mom, and it's not a bad thing. I enjoy that. I'm getting out of the house once a week and doing all that. But like, I feel like I haven't really been doing a whole lot. And I think this year, me personally, I know it's still the beginning. I mean, we're in February now, but I'm trying to do better in the sense of like, one, in this case, especially with the podcast, like to try to help you out more, not just to sit here and just continue like we've been doing the last couple of years and whatnot, but to be able to do more. And this is why I want to be able to do that for you, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of times where you feel like I know you don't care, but like I want to be able to help you more so that way you're not always feeling like you're doing it all by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or like in that way of saying it, right? Because like and I know, like I said, I know you have a lot of free time, right? But it's tough, right? And I don't want you to feel like you have to do all the little things here and there and to do all that. I'm trying to find better ways to be able to help you, right? And so I know you've been doing a lot, and like I said, I know you've done a lot, man. I'm very grateful for that. But now I feel like I need to step up my game and make sure that you understand that I'm not just mooching off for the ride. Like that's really not what I wanted. I really wanted us to be like a team.
Yeah. Right? So yeah, season 3.
Oh, sorry. I guess that was just a little too pushy for you.
So season 3, we got hopefully some newer things for you. We are planning to, we are planning to cut kind of the 1 month series, 1 month thing. We're cutting that out. I think what we're planning to do is we haven't quite nailed it down yet, but we are planning to cut the year into 4 quarters, and each quarter will have its own theme. So maybe quarter 1 will be sci-fi, fantasy, mythology, and then the second quarter will have its own theme, and so on and so forth. And then each episode within that quarter will fall into that, sci-fi, fantasy. So it might be like, we'll do, Star Trek and, maybe RoboCop or, something within that sci-fi fantasy.
I mean, now I'm not gonna lie to you. If we have to adjust, right now, because you never know. We could, if like, let's say we have a guest on and, maybe we have to think of different ideas, I mean, it may not exactly be that topic or whatever. We'll just as fire, but just keep in mind that, yes, he is right that, doing the quarters, trying to figure out like different ideas and trying to see how that works, we might end up doing it and we really like it, or we might just,
if we have
to go back to kind of looking back at what we've been doing before and just kind of, going from there. But at least, we're trying to do different things.
I think if we have to pivot, we can pivot. But I think we can keep the 4 quarters, and then we can say like, okay, if we're doing an episode, say if second quarter that we want to do is like superheroes, comic books, villains, that kind of opens the door to a lot of comics or superheroes, not just Marvel or DC. Like that opens the door for any comic anywhere.
Oh, and
so if somebody's like, hey, you should do an episode on Invincible. Invincible is not DC or Marvel.
Well, that's fine. I don't care. It doesn't have to be.
That's just one of those things. And if we have somebody that's like, hey, can I come on to talk about, Joe Schmo? He's in this comic book. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but you can teach us something.
He may not be in the, we may not schedule him in that first quarter. That's what I'm saying. Like he may have to wait until that second quarter.
Well,
when we get into that topic,
but it depends on, because maybe let's say they want to talk about something and then we've already done that technically, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like disregard somebody,
Well, no, we just have to look at like what they want to talk about, and if we've already done it, I don't want to necessarily talk about it a second. I mean,
no, I'm not saying that.
Logistically, we just have to look at it and be like, is it realistic to kind of redo?
But yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's all up in the air. We'll see. We'll figure it out as we go. I mean,
but we do have a couple segments that we're also planning. You've already heard one in this one, which is the multiversal glitch.
Right, but keep in mind that it's, I mean, of course we're going to know because we're doing it, but like you guys aren't going to have a clue. Like that, the point is to make sure it's a random. It's not, you're never going to know when it's going to happen.
We're going to fully plan it on our end, but we're going to basically throw these in, and they're going to be completely random.
Oh yeah,
we're not necessarily going to tell you what we're doing
or how
or why we're doing it. Why we're doing it is because it's fun.
Oh yeah, it's different.
But it basically like the whole idea behind this glitch is that we are going to do these segments basically to play on this whole multiverse aspect of our name.
Right. And now I was going to say the second concept segment, whatever you want to call it. Do you really want to tell them, or do you think we should keep it a secret until it happens?
No, I think we can tell them because it's not. I mean, the multiversal glitch I want to keep a secret because I want to make sure that when we do the glitch, that we're not just revealing the glitch.
No. No, I know what you meant by that, but I'm talking about more the second one until this actually happens. Do you want to explain what we're going to be talking about?
No, because that one's more of a challenge that we initiate to ourselves.
Well, no, I get that. I'm just saying that's why I'm asking. Do you want to tell them or do you want to wait?
No, I think we can tell them.
Okay,
it's not a huge secret.
So really, what we're talking about is that so we're going to have like this challenge, between the both of us. One of us can initiate it, maybe both, whatever. So the point is, it's Matt came up with the idea, and he has it on his phone, which actually I haven't seen it yet, but it's called the Wheel of Chaos.
It's just a wheel.
Oh, it's just a wheel, but we call it the wheel of chaos, right? So the point is that if we challenge that said person, the point is whatever it lands on, we have to do an impression of a certain character.
But it should make a little clicking noise. I don't hear it, but
Kelly, I don't either. But the point is that whatever it lands on, so it could be, let's say, Yoda, or let's say it's a Terminator, or whatever. It could be literally anything. We could change it. We can whatever, right? So whatever it lands on is whatever we have to do as an impression. But here's the kick to this. So now, originally, I thought we were going to do like the whole episode because that's what it sounded like at first. But apparently, it's only for like a certain amount of time. But again, it's all random. It can be at any moment.
There it is.
Okay. So like whatever it stops, right? So in this case, let's say if I'm doing it. Is it done yet? Where did it land?
You have to do an Arnold accent.
Get to the Java! Yes! So like imagine that, right?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be, I'm not doing that right now, but like
No.
doing that, and then now you have to do it for 2 minutes of whatever we're talking about in that moment.
Right. So yeah, we would continue the episode, but whenever we challenge each other, and it's not going to be like, we're going to do it, 2, 3, 4 times an episode. It might be, I challenge John in this episode, and, I do want to have, I don't have the audio yet, but I do want to have some sort of, I was thinking, almost like the Mortal Kombat, like finish him, or, the Killer Instinct, like audio that's like almost like the Wheel of Chaos, like something like that. That would be like cheesy, video game-ish, like.
Well, or like the I am Optimus Prime. You know what I'm saying? Like something random like that where, it is going to be difficult because like I said, Matt and I are not voice impressionists. It's not like.
No, we're not. But I do, so I'll read some of these off because these are, and I actually thought of another one, which was AI mode.
Oh, God.
I mean, I do have robot in here, which is, I guess you could say robot and AI could be the same thing.
It depends.
But I have fast forward.
Oh, God.
Which is fast talking, I guess.
Like, hey, how you doing? Let's talk about okay.
Slow-mo.
How you doing there, man?
ASMR mode.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Let's
ASMR mode. Accent redneck.
Yeah, I'll tell you what there, son. Yeah.
Robot.
No, I'm not doing that.
Pirate.
Arr, matey.
Accent, which is Arnold. British.
I don't know, Matt. Do you want to do your impression?
Yoda.
See, I'm not a really great Yoda.
So echo mode.
Hello. Yes.
Which could be really, really, really annoying, talking.
Like, shut up.
This.
It was like, up.
Squeaky voice.
I want to talk like this. Not something random like that.
Deep voice mode. Bitch.
Sorry. That's the wrong time.
So those are the ones that I have. And like once, I think like when we can think of more like.
Oh, I have one already, but I was thinking like Scooby-Doo or Shaggy or something like that.
We may take some off. We may add some in. But yeah, I think like we'll think of like different segments that we can do. We want to make things fun, during the podcast and make, just do different things.
Well, the one thing that we haven't done in a while, and I think we should talk about that too, is the, it doesn't have to be the what we've done before, but the whole like special news report, doing that kind of like that little quick little like tidbit that because we tugged it, like we did it a little bit, but we haven't done a lot of it. And I really think we should bring that back even from time to time, especially if we have like random news to talk about, because it's, it doesn't happen all the time, but especially like when we were talking about like the writer's strike and like the few other things that randomly came about, and just bringing it up, occasionally, we can talk about that. That's just on our end, but like, just doing stuff like that, or coming up with new ideas. And again, letting us know these new ideas would be great too. Because like I said, we're only two dudes on two different mics here. We can't come up with all the damn ideas. Sometimes having you guys having some input, it helps us out. But yes, I don't know how long we've been doing this, man. I feel like we've definitely explained a lot, and I feel like, for season 3, I'm ready to do this, man. I'm ready to kick it up a notch. I'm ready to start kicking some ass, buddy.
New graphics. There'll be new social media graphics, there's certainly new intro and outro music, new music for Evolve. Like we said, there's new segments. We're not gonna. Right now, I don't have really any other plans to use weird sound effects other than we use kind of the traffic one, but
no, not the oh boy,
or
the dumb ones that we've used in the past, yeah.
I don't really want to use those, but doing like the Wheel of Chaos, those are just kind of like fun things, and like we'll do the glitch, which will kind of be like us kind of using that to play on that multiverse theme of our podcast a little bit, and you'll see that kind of played out a little bit. Not every episode. It might be once a month. Might be once every other month. Who knows? Like
it's all random.
We're just gonna throw it in there randomly, and when it makes sense. And
I'll say this, man, to kind of like do some closing thoughts here. The last 2 years, like I said, I never would have thought we've even made it this far. I'm proud that we've even come this far, and have tried to come up with new ideas, different things or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, of course, with Matt too, there's different ideas that we've talked about, and yeah, there's some that I've either knew what I was talking about, and there's some ideas I had no freaking idea I had any knowledge of whatever. But for me, I know, especially for me, I've definitely learned a lot. I feel like I've learned a lot about the different topics and different things. And like I said, I'm not going to be a know-it-all. I don't know every damn topic. I don't know every nuance or different things about it. But I don't mind learning, man. That's the cool part about this too, because for me it's learning, but for you, you're just like, well, I know a lot, and that's kind of not saying that's what you sound like always, but there's just sometimes where I'm like, yeah, I know he's kind of the expert, and there's different things that I might know things that you're like, I have no idea. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me throw that in there for you. So like that's where I'm like, it's nice to have that, to have that kind of balance from time to time. And, and like I said, there's definitely a lot that I have been learning, and it's great. And sometimes, maybe I'm just like, what, let me just take over this real quick. Cause I can throw little tidbits here and there, whatever. But no, I'm just glad that season 3, we're gonna be doing a lot, man. And I hope that it's gonna be great, especially throughout the year. Cause like I said, we've been trying to come up with new things, different ideas. Like I said, hell, different merch at some point too. So anyways, again, just hit us up, let us know, your thoughts, different ideas here. Okay. And, we got to hopefully, and actually, no, my bad, before we end. Yes, next week we got another episode regarding bullying. So, stay tuned to that, and we'll see you next time.
Stay geeky, 'cause we're geeks from the multiverse.